Welcome in to the DNVR Broncos Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oldie but goodie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
The
what
one
I
Ryan
say.
says not to do.
I don't know why he always gets so artsy. There's no need for that.
He's such an artist.
We don't need that.
He's such an artist.
Breaking news, Greg Dulcich, not a top 10 tight end. Neither is Chris Manhertz. What are the odds Manhertz is rated more highly than Dulcich?
Slim to none.
Slim to none? Okay.
I don't think that one cut up of all the Manhertz blocking highlights that's on YouTube that one person doing God's work posted for the sickos like us.
Yeah.
I don't think it's getting enough views for Manhertz to push past GD, you know?
Yeah, you're probably right about that. We should be getting those tight end ratings soon. I'm curious. I really like the ratings. Somebody yesterday was like, we don't care what the ratings are in the video game. I was like, well, why the hell not? These are the best player ratings that anybody makes anywhere. Like, they're much better than Pro Football Focus or something like that, for example. So it's fun to see what people say about
Shots fired.
the Broncos. That was a
Who's
shot.
the esteemed panel that's coming up with these ratings?
I think right now it's Clint Oldenburg.
Whoa.
Who's in charge? Yeah.
That sounds like a guy who would be doing PFF ratings.
CSU football player. I think brief stint maybe with the Broncos too.
Go Rams, I guess, huh?
Sure. I mean, I guess I
No,
publicly I'm not.
you don't have to. You
Meh.
don't have to say anything.
39, 6'5", fifth-round pick of the Patriots in 2007.
Wow,
Then played with the Broncos in 2008.
you're going deep, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like the head guy. But there's like a panel.
Hell yeah, love me a good panel.
I
Love me
just-
some ratings.
I wish.
Is there any notable tight end in the top 10 who you're like, I don't know, GD might be pushing that guy? Greg Dulcich,
no.
that is.
No. I mean,
Dulcich and Gabbana, as he's known around these parts.
Kelsey, Kittle, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller, Pat Freiermuth, David Njoku, Evan Ingram. So it does like kind of trail off there at the end, but
No, I
They're
think
all better
the
than Dulcich.
Freiermuth tier you start to be in play.
yeah,
Both rookies. I bet you if you like only
He's-
looked at
Pat's a year older.
Oh, that's right. If you only looked at stats from the second half of last season, Dulcich is probably pushing old.
I mean, I'm
Pat
pretty sure
Muth.
in yards per game last year, Dulcich was like 13th among tight ends. Like he's up there. Obviously, that's not top 10.
That
but
isn't top 10. It is top 13.
it is
for
top
those keeping
13.
count
Usually
at
there's
home.
a follow-up tweet. So pretty quickly after they send out, like, here's the top 10 tight ends. And here's the next 10. So that should be coming soon. But I don't...
The honorable mentions. I love a good honorable mention.
Off the top of my head, I would just say, like, Dulcich isn't a top 20 tight end. But after seeing the drop-off, he might be.
He is a top 20 fantasy tight end for what
True.
that's worth.
Yeah, that is probably true.
Though I'm very dynasty heavy, so take that with a grain of salt. That could be skewed because of his age and upside.
I think the real question is he higher or lower than Noah Fant?
Ooh,
He'll be lower.
that's a great question.
I'd guess he's lower.
In fantasy, he certainly is higher.
Interesting.
Fans kind of like capped out with what his fantasy production is at this point.
Yeah.
You know, he is what he is.
That's true. Only 486 yards last year.
No, he stinks.
I would have just assumed that things went well for him since the Seahawks overperformed so much.
No, he's bad at football.
No.
He has this one issue where he's just
Wow.
bad at football.
Like, that was...
He's not a good blocker. Doesn't catch the ball well after the catch. He doesn't run it great. So just generally speaking, everything he does, not so awesome.
He looks like a football player.
Like top 5 first guy off the bus.
Yeah.
Maybe not the first guy,
No.
But
if
he's-
he's like 3 or 4.
he's in like 3 to 4 guys in having left the bus. You're like, where's Noah? He's next. You know,
Yes.
that's me I'm the coach on the front. I'm screaming in the back.
You think
know?
Sean Payton schedules who gets off the bus in what order?
Sean Payton would be in my top 5 of coaches who schedule the order of guys who get off the bus.
He would be top
right?
5. Yes.
Yeah. Like he's maybe not my top NFL coach to do that, but he's in the mix for sure.
Noah Fant had by far the worst season of his career last year, and he didn't miss any games or anything.
Right. Right.
I would not have seen that coming.
Just performed his very best, which again is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
he's got that going for him.
Well, when these other tight end ratings come out, I'll let you guys know because I know that you're super excited to hear about the video game ratings for like a fourth straight day.
Yeah.
But
the chat's popping. The chat's popping.
we've got a lot to get to. Yesterday we didn't get to
It's a loaded episode.
picking the division winners.
I know.
So we're gonna go through every division and pick the winners.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go into like the contenders. So like, okay, who should be taken for like playoff bets? And then if we have time at the end, because we didn't have time yesterday, so I'm not totally sure we will, then maybe we'll fly through some like awards picks. MVP,
Boomsies.
Defensive Player of the Year, which we kind of did yesterday, but yesterday we talked about the Broncos. And today we're talking about kind of the real contenders.
I'm excited. This will be a fun little NFL preview. The juices just keep juicing these days. Like
you're
the NFL
feeling
is
juicy.
The NFL and football, it feels so close, Henry.
Juicy Dre.
Gross.
Yeah. Let's see. Where should we start? Let's see what order our friends over at Bet365 puts the divisions in.
Okay,
That way we
may
can
I
just progress.
suggest the start for the divisions?
That works too. Yeah.
Can we start? So here's the thing. Going through these, the AFC feels very chalky,
Yeah.
which is a trap.
Yep.
Every division favorite will not be a winner. So you got to help me identify which of the division faves in the AFC will be that outlier who ends up crapping the bed and not being it. So maybe we could start there, or we could start NFC where it gets more frisky, and I think there are more dogs to pick from.
So those are the two options.
Yeah.
Let's start with the AFC East. That's the top one when you look at the division odds with the
Fine.
Bet365. Well, let's go down. So
But
we'll do
keep
AFC
that in
first.
mind that we're looking for an AFC division winner dog.
We are.
One.
We absolutely
One.
are. AFC East favorite the Bills plus 130, Jets plus 240, Dolphins plus 300, Patriots plus 750.
Yeah.
This isn't the one.
No, it's not.
No, I'm just taking the Bills. Like if you want to take the hot takes with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, feel free. But I don't.
Feels like the Jets are gonna jet, and I really am gonna struggle to trust Tua's health. Right?
Exactly. And even if he is healthy, I think if all goes well for the Dolphins this season, they're as good as the Bills. I don't think they're any better than the Bills. That's just what potentially gets them up to
It's a great
Bills
point.
level.
Even at their best, they are like a mid version of the Bills, which is like I don't know if that running game's there in December.
Last year, the Bills finished second in points scored. They finished second in points allowed. The year before, they finished first in points allowed and third in points scored. They're just a really good regular season team. Like, there's no reason to take a team over them in the regular season.
A lot hinges on being able to save Josh Allen's miles so he's not beat up towards the second half, which happened, and
did.
Von Miller's health, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That was huge for that defense. Okay.
Bills to me.
The North.
The North.
Maybe that's the kind. Also, Bills plus 130, sneaky good value.
It is.
Getting them under plus 150 is sneaky good.
Bengals plus 125, Ravens plus 250, Browns plus 360, Steelers plus 550.
Yeah.
This is another one where I feel like if you're not taking the Bengals, you're just overthinking it. I love the Ravens. Like, that's one of my favorite teams to watch. And
They're
I think
deep.
they'll do well. And there's a bunch of stats that
Lamar
suggest
getting
Lamar's
paid is huge.
exactly. Lamar could be ready to be. He hasn't been bad. He's just been hurt.
Yeah.
So if
That
he's just healthy,
receiver core might finally be half decent.
I really like OBJ. I'm a little afraid to say it,
Oh, you
but I
should
do
be
like
afraid.
it. But then you look at the Bengals.
This isn't the one.
I don't think it is.
If there's the one, this might be it. I'm just warning you, Henry.
That's fair. And I will have a tough time stopping myself from betting on the Ravens just because they're so fun and so good. The Bengals, though, like, do they have the best receivers in the NFL? Do they have? I mean, they obviously have a top 3 quarterback in
By
the
a mile.
NFL. You have that upgrade offensive line. You got the running game. Like, the offense is sick. The defense is kind of what carried them to that Super Bowl in a lot of ways. Like, that team is just so complete, and it's been together for a few years. Unless injuries hit, I think it's the Bengals.
Yeah, and they can rush you with 4. It's what they do on defense. I know the Bengals are kind of my favorite out of the AFC.
Wow.
Right?
I mean, they're up there. Yeah, they're up there.
Well, it's not the South, Hank, where the Jags are a minus 160 fave.
That's where I was gonna go.
You're a Titans believer.
I was thinking Titans. I'm sneaky in on the Colts, but this probably isn't the bet to
After
take
you
them.
just hated on their jerseys this morning?
Oh, terrible jerseys.
The Duke.
The Duke.
Like it's the Duke remake.
Yeah,
They're disgusting.
You can just name like any one of like 100 different teams.
So gross.
They look just like my high school's jerseys, except they have a white helmet instead of black.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to Hank so I can blow my nose for a second.
Yep. We don't need to see that. But yeah, I mean, the Jags are probably the easy pick, and I probably am overthinking it. But the Titans have been consistently good. And it's not like they've gone through too massive of changes. And they also bring in DeAndre Hopkins, who could be what really takes that team to the next level. So you have Derrick Henry, you have DeAndre Hopkins. Why wouldn't that offense be good at the very least? And that defense with Vrabel, it's always going to game plan well. Even if the talent isn't the best, it's always going to be put in good positions.
Yeah.
And then that
Jeffrey Simmons is a stud.
exactly. And that's where the Titans get themselves into the conversation, but I also think there's a chance the Jaguars aren't that good. Like they might be an 8-9 team. Yeah.
Evan Ingram.
Yeah,
Dougie
definitely.
P.
Definitely.
They had a wide receiver I like. Or wide receiver came
Calvin
back
Ridley's
from gambling
back.
suspension.
I definitely think that the Jags win, but plus 320 or even that plus 600 for the Colts, I'm a little bit tempted.
No, Colts, I'm out.
Okay. That's
They're going to start
I get
Anthony Richardson at quarterback.
I think he might be good.
He couldn't win 6 games at Florida.
I know.
Florida does suck.
It's new offense, all that
Partially
sort of
because
stuff. You got all those big receivers with Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman. Like his job isn't going to be to make like 6 reads. You just got to lob it up to those guys. And they've got Jonathan Taylor underneath, like the deep passing game combined with the running game. And then you got the defense, which is a few years ago it was insane. And I think we've just kind of forgotten a little bit because they've been so disappointing.
Okay. I can be talked into the Titans.
I'm more in on the Colts, like over on the win total than actually taking them to make the playoffs or win a division or anything, but I'm tempted. Then the AFC West. Chiefs minus 160, Chargers plus 300, Broncos plus 550, Raiders plus 1,200. Believe that's the worst odds. No, Cardinals. I forgot about the Cardinals. Second worst odds in the NFL to win their division.
Crazy.
Shout out the Raiders.
Yeah. Jimmy G. Not many believers in Jimmy G.
No. Why
I
would
don't
there
think
be?
the Chargers would be a good bet at plus 300.
No.
Broncos at plus 550. Intriguing. As we talked about a lot on the pod yesterday, if the Broncos were to actually win the division, there are other better value bets because like Coach of the Year suddenly would be in the mix at plus 1,200 for Sean Payton. Plus 5,000 for PS2 Defensive Player of the Year would seem like a very good bet at that point. So there's just other routes to go. I do think minus 160 maybe just a smidge rich for the Chiefs. Like if you're getting Bengals and what was it?
Bills.
Bengals and Bills in the plus, they probably should be right around that line as well.
You think so?
Yeah.
They've just won 7 in a row. It's so hard to see them not winning the division this year.
I know, but that's human fallacy, is like thinking that the way things have gone is how they will always go.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Maybe
Red
Travis
Bull's
Kelce
dominating
ages.
F1.
Wow.
Yeah,
can't
I mean,
speak to
actually, a Kelce injury would be a big one.
That's kind of what it's, or obviously Mahomes, but that's crazy. That's kind of where I'm at though. Is you need injuries, otherwise they're just going to win this division.
Yeah, the offense otherwise has done a pretty good job of not being reliant on one single guy and just having depth and being able to like rinse and repeat. But Kelce is the one guy you can't. Really
Have you been
replace.
watching that quarterback show?
I have. We might be talking about it on the pod tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Not
that's
the us we.
no.
Secret guest we.
Mahomes is just really good.
Sure.
Like you
sure.
just watch it and you're just like, yeah, this sucks.
My sister's commentary was he's very emotional.
He's
the most emotional.
He is very emotional.
Now that's compared to Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota, who might not have a pulse.
No.
Marcus Mariota is like, holy cow.
He's a chill guy. Hawaii. He's got those aloha vibes.
Too chill is my hashtag analysis.
I don't disagree.
By the way, I love this comment on the screen by Zuriel.
I can't read it from here.
Fun fact: the Foo Fighters song "My Hero" was written about Bucket Tray. Yes,
Wow.
it was.
Wow.
It was. That's
wow.
how people look at me on the beach as I walk by them in my Bucky hat and my Shady Rays. Did you see? Speaking of hot beaches, the fire marshal was informed of the Broncos camp attendance, and that's I don't know. I got a notification on that.
Did I see?
Why
I
don't
wrote the story, Dre.
Oh my gosh. This is like when my grandpa asked me if I saw the story on Austin Eckler and the Denver Colts.
Yeah.
He's very upset.
Wow.
For all of you who don't get that, I wrote the story on Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
Damn it all. You want
Did I see?
a quick little break?
Real quick, we just got the 11 through 20 tight ends.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. Let Dre guess. From 10 to 20, if Greg Dulcich is on that list, where's he at?
Dulcich made it at 14.
Wrong. That's Dalton Schultz.
Wow.
Where is,
Okay, so then 16.
Did Noah Fant make it?
Noah Fant did. He is 19th.
Noah Fant is 20. Greg Dulcich did not make the list.
Dang.
Yep. Cole Kmet at 19. Tyler Higbee at 18. Hayden Hurst at 17. Hunter Henry at 16. 15 Gesicki. 14 Schultz. 13 Everett. 12 Zach Ertz, who I guess is still alive. Who knew? And Dawson Knox at 11. He should be higher.
Zach Ertz's wife is more relevant than him at this point.
Julia, it's a legend.
Player at center back
So
again.
True.
Yeah, so that's disappointing. I think they'll update the website. I just can't believe that Greg Dulcich can't do more than
GD
like some
is
of those
gonna
names.
show him. GD is gonna show him.
Like Tyler Higbee. Like he's a solid NFL player, like good tight end, but he's not like he's just been around for a while.
But
That's why he's up there.
But what has Dulcich shown that says that he should be higher up on the list? Nothing yet.
What 42 yards per game last year?
Yeah, some upside.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'm telling
high
you,
potential,
the,
but not anything there yet.
I mean, but what did Higbee do, for example?
Right. It was like a solid season for a really bad team where someone had to get catches, you know.
Higbee hit 48 in 2019, but he was 36 last year, 37, 34, 18, 18, 5 before that. I mean, Noah Fant is yeah, there's no way Noah Fant's hit that number. And they're basically the same player.
I mean,
in terms of
Dulcich's numbers in 10 games are really pretty good for a tight end, especially compared to a lot of those guys. Again, the dynasty fantasy football rankings I follow have Dulcich much higher there. Here, I'll go find those rankings for you to see where he slots in.
Okay.
there.
And Noah Fant.
That's
So I'm pretty
tight
sure it was like 41 something yards per game for Dulcich last year.
Sure.
Ooh. Fant had 41.9 his last year in Denver, 44.9 year before. But last year 28.6 playing every game. So who do you want? Who's going to be better week 1 this season? I can't get behind Fant.
The site I use for dynasty rankings, Keep Trade Cut, they'll hit you up to crowdsource the rankings with a trade cut keep. And it's Marvin Mims, Josh Downs, Juju Smith-Schuster. I think I'd keep Marvin Mims. I think I'd trade Josh Downs. I think I'd cut Juju. Do you see any mistakes? Josh Downs, of course, the rookie.
Yeah.
He went to the Colts. He's the non-big Colts wide receiver.
I guess that's probably right.
You're
But
definitely
odds
cutting
are
Juju.
you regret it. Exactly. And you definitely do because those other guys are young.
And then it's
but
either
I do think
Downs or Mims.
Yes. And I think that 5 years from now you look back and say, wow, it turns out Juju is better than one of those guys. But right now you can't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Juju could still turn it around?
I mean,
At the Pats, no less.
I don't think he's going to go back to being like one of the 10 best receivers in the league.
Uh-huh.
But he was good last year, almost 1,000 yards. Like there's value there.
Wasn't that in a much better offense?
Definitely.
I can't think of the last 1,000-yard wide receiver for the Pats. It's probably Julian Edelman,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it's got to be. I guess Juju is 26. He'll be 27 at the end of the season. He still feels so young.
In Dynasty, Greg Dulcich, 11 ranked quarterback for keep trade cut. He is behind 3 rookies. Of course, Dalton Kincaid, who the Dynasty community very high on, Sam Laporta, and Michael Mayer. He's in front of Darren Waller, Evan Ingram, David Njoku,
Darren
Dalton
Waller
Schultz,
sucks now.
Cole Kmet. So yeah, there you go.
It is Julian Edelman, and it was 2019.
Yep, I know ball.
You do,
and that's a different rankings. That's more projection and production based, right?
Yes.
So,
Factor, a new partner of ours. So Factor meal kits.
they're a Factor, man.
Basically, how it works is you go on the website.
Yes.
You like click on like the things you want to eat for the week.
Oh my gosh.
And then they send it to you. And so there's like plans where it's like 7 meals or 9 meals or like 15 meals if you want to get like a bunch of them.
Whoa.
And I think the prices, I guess it probably says right
That's
here, it starts at
breakfast,
like
lunch, and
$11.
What?
Yeah, it starts at $11 per meal.
I can't even get a plastic bag at the supermarket for $11.
That
what
is
are you
true.
Talking about?
So I just had my first box. It got here Tuesday. So I've eaten a couple things in it. I really should have written down what they were called. Let's see. Last night was
It's better without the names. You describing them.
yeah.
This is what I tell my 5-year-old
was
when
it?
she gets upset. I'm not understanding the word. I say use other words to
It
describe
was
it.
cheesy.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
This is what it's
sounds
called.
good.
That's not. No. It was
This sounds good.
cheesy bacon ranch chicken with garlic broccoli and portobello mushrooms. That's what it was.
What?
Yes, and it was really good. And see, I don't those long names. So usually I have things
you were
that are
able
called
to
like
cook this.
I have like a cheeseburger or chicken nuggets. I don't
Uh-huh.
have like long name things. No,
Yeah.
that's the thing is I don't have to cook it. They cook it, and so then they ship it to you, and then you just like set your oven to 375 and put it in there for 7 minutes, and it comes out, and that's food. You can also microwave it, but I actually don't have a microwave, so
Oh
I use the
my
oven.
gosh.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. and it's-
Nothing has ever sounded more like we're in a like Hank is the main protagonist of a Truman Show like reality TV
Wow.
show, and Factor was what production decided was the only method to keep you alive.
Yeah,
You know
that does make sense.
It wouldn't be the Truman Show. It'd be Little Hangsters Adventures. That's what that TV show would be called.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, might be the
It
executive
also
producer.
it reminds me of like the shows about space where you like hit the button. Well, it's like space, but also kind of the future. I think
Okay.
it was like big in the 90s. It's like I want this for dinner, so you like press the button and it just like makes it out of thin air. That's kind of what it feels like too,
Right.
because the box just shows up and it's like,
To
boop,
me, you're
there's the
more
button.
describing a virtual reality, but sure.
That could be it too. Factor's awesome though. I'm still kind of early on. The smoothies are good too. But so far it's just super convenient, and I personally wind up just eating much better food than I normally would.
Yeah, what the heck?
Instead of going to like McDonald's. They don't
Shut
freeze
up.
any of their food. It's fresh. The meals are ready in just 2 minutes if you use the microwave.
Oh my
All you gotta do
gosh.
is just heat it. They're all ready to eat when they get to you. They're actually America's #1 ready to eat meal kit. It's a really cool product. Each week there's 34 plus weekly, I guess I said it my own way, restaurant quality options. Like they've got bruschetta shrimp risotto or green goddess chicken or grilled steakhouse filet mignon. I'm not good at saying that word.
Filet mignon.
Yeah, I'll let you say that one next time. But they're all made with high quality ingredients, really good food. And then there's a bunch of different plans. So you can like say like, I just want the chef's choice. You can pick your own, or say like, I want protein heavy stuff, or there's like a calorie conscious option, or a vegetarian veggie heavy option.
Man.
Protein Plus has over 30 grams of protein per meal. It really is cool. Oh, they also have breakfast. I might have to go get some breakfast.
Yeah, right.
Apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon cheddar egg bites.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's awesome stuff. So head over to factormeals.com/DNVR Bronco 50 and you'll get 50% off. So that's code DNVR Bronco 50 at factormeals.com and you'll get 50% off.
Boom.
Boom. And also Game Time. I had somebody reach out this morning and say, where should I buy Broncos tickets? Game Time. It's kind of
Well, they're
interesting because
setting
it's
you
like
up. Who are you
who
being set up?
it makes me wonder because like who would come to
Was
us?
it Lindsay from a burner number to check on if you
Maybe.
like if you know your stuff?
Maybe, but yeah, if you use the code DNVR when you use Game Time for the first time, you get $20 off your order.
$20 off.
It's a great deal. I'm not sure what Broncos tickets cost at this point.
Well, preseason.
Preseason tickets are probably pretty cheap. But
I'm firing it up right now, Hank.
I know because they were really expensive before last season, and they got really cheap at the end of the season.
Yepers.
So right now, I'd guess somewhere in between.
The final preseason game, because that's the 26th, right?
Yeah,
$41.
not bad. That'll
Yeah.
get cheaper if you wait too.
Yes.
If you wait
yes,
till
it
an hour
will.
before the game,
Yes, it will. And
you
that's
might
in
be
the
getting in for
$500s. You
$10.
won't get in the $300s. You can $48.
Oh. Game
Not
Time is
bad.
awesome. I haven't been using it much lately just because the Nuggets and Avs are gone. But it's almost Game Time season again. And I know I'm excited, and you should
can
be
go
too.
to shows
Use that
too,
code.
man. Blink, T-Swift, they've got it all.
Yeah, there aren't many things I need to go see.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, there's that 50
Preach.
Cent concert this weekend, but I'm
Dude.
gone for that. That's one that I can actually get behind.
Right. Right.
Hank at a 50 Cent concert, I would pay hundreds of dollars to see that.
I know. And yet,
Buy my
at the
tickets
same
with it.
time, I just thought of Candy Shop. If that song's taken literally,
Wow.
that's right up your alley. You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is a good one. So definitely get on Game Time. The prices get cheaper before the game, so I suggest waiting until the last minute, especially for something like a 50 Cent concert where people there might be some empty seats that you can get your hands on pretty cheap, and $20 off with the code DNVR. All right. Let's hit the NFC now. Oh, I got logged out. I got logged back in.
Did that to me too.
Allow. There we go. Okay, continue. The NFC East. So the Eagles are the favorite, minus 120. Cowboys at plus 180. Giants at plus 700. Commanders at plus 1200. I don't know what I'm doing here.
This is the one shoe-in.
You think so?
Fly Eagles, fly, man.
I don't know.
Too much talent. Too much talent.
I bet against them so many times it was like every 3 weeks I'd be like, well, I'm taking under
I know.
12.5 wins, taking under 14.5 wins.
I know.
And
how'd that work for you?
Well, I bet against him in the Super Bowl and got my money back. So if it finally paid off. But I'm just not an Eagles believer. Like, I don't know if he'll hold up for 2 seasons. I think
Who the heck do you believe in?
the
It's the
Cowboys
Cowboys
might
or
be
bust.
spicy.
Oh, yeah?
I think the
Big Mike
Cowboys might
McCarthy
be.
guy?
No, not because of Mike McCarthy. But, I mean, they've got a solid
Micah
defense.
Parsons has you hyped.
Yeah, call me crazy. Micah Parsons is pretty good.
Diggs.
He'll make some
Got
plays.
the uses going.
I'm tempted by the Cowboys, and they just have so many receivers. They've still got some good pieces on the offensive line. Like, they've got Tony Pollard running the ball. Like, that offense is
Right, Tony
just as
Pollard.
good as the Eagles' offense, I think. Maybe even better. Wow.
That offense is terrible. Yeah. Chime in, would you?
So, cornerback rankings just dropped on Madden.
Oh.
And
oh,
I think
God.
this is very important right now. And I want to ask you, no, don't look it up, Hank. Stop.
Oh, I already saw.
You suck. This is
Well,
not for you to look up.
You
I'm
didn't
trying
tell
to
me.
be-
I didn't look it up. I just looked at my phone. I
PS2
got
is
on
second
notifications.
ranked, 93 overall.
Nope.
Top ranked.
Nope.
What?
Number 3 at 94 overall.
Who Sauce ahead of him?
Nope.
Top 2. Give it to me.
Ramsey and Jair Alexander. Jalen Ramsey's number 1.
Wow, the come up for Jair. I kind of love it.
Jair sounds like Yair. So
It does.
Wow.
I'm kind
It
of for
does.
it a little bit.
Yep, absolutely it does.
Ooh.
Back to the Eagles. I think the Eagles significantly better wide receiver core, better O-line, and I think a better quarterback. Certainly a better dual threat quarterback. And at minus 120, I'm getting them at better value than I did the Chiefs or Jags to win their divisions. I think the Eagles are the shoe-in. It's a classic don't overthink it.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
This is one that I'll probably just stay away from because I'm kind of an Eagles hater,
Good for you.
and I need to.
Oh, I mean, for the brand. I mean, I love a good for the brand
I just
pick, you know?
you gotta. I don't know.
Let's go to the next 3, which are the ones that get fun.
Yeah. So the NFC North, the Lions at plus 130, Vikings at plus 300, Bears at plus 380, Packers at plus 380. Packers and Vikings are what stand out to me.
Vikings especially.
Okay. Yeah.
I just think Kirk Cousins versus Justin Fields, Jared Goff, and Jordan Love, I feel significantly better about him than those other three quarterbacks. And, oh, yeah, he has the best wide receiver in the league to go with him. Second year under Kevin O'Connell's offense, which I think is going to make a big difference. And yeah, I honestly kind of feel like the Vikings at plus 300 is almost like stealing.
Yeah.
And they have a better defense than the Lions.
I mean, by far.
They don't have a... I mean, I'd put the Vikings defense against the Bears, right? And probably take the Vikings.
Easily. Bears, yeah.
And the Packers have lost some pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me the Vikes. Plus 300, I think. One of the better values on the entire board. The Lions are going to Lion.
Okay, but
definitely. I'm not in on the Lions.
Do the Vikings have players that are willing to buy kneecaps?
I mean, the truth is the Lions don't either.
Yeah.
It's like a soft team.
Yeah.
It's like a
They've got the
soft
offensive line.
arena team.
Packers are spicy too. That Packers defense is awesome. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers gets a little too much credit for the last, 4 or 5 years or so.
Yeah, sure.
I think that roster's actually really good. You got the running backs. You've got the offensive line.
It's a really young
defense.
offense.
The offense, yeah.
The
questions
quarterback,
are
wide receiver have such little NFL experience.
Yep.
But you're right. If 60% of those two units pop, you're cooking with gas.
Yes.
You definitely are.
And if you have the defense,
which you do.
Obviously Jair Alexander, you've got Kenny Clark, even your linebackers. You don't think about the four linebackers as being great, but Preston Smith, Devondre Campbell, Quay Walker, Rashawn Gary, that could wind up being the best 3-4 group of linebackers in the NFL.
That front seven is Ravens level deep. They've just loaded up and up and up.
Darnell Savage is a good safety. So I do think...
No, I'm with you. It's just we got to see Jordan Love in the preseason, and even then we're going to get hyped up on him, and I'm not going to drink that Kool-Aid until I've seen it through mid-October. I'm just not.
I just wouldn't be surprised if this division...
not good at Utah
it takes 9-10 wins to win this division. Because I think everybody expects at least some regression from the Vikings. All those, however many one-score games. We just watched the episode against the Bills last night. Where it's oh, congrats, you beat the Bills, but also all they had to do was run out the clock, and Josh Allen fumbled the ball in the end zone, and then he threw a pick in the end zone in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, let me be clear about the Kirk Cousins Vikings. They would be one of my top picks to choke in round one of the playoffs. But to win a division against, again, Goff, Fields, and Jordan Love?
Yeah.
There's standards and levels. That is a task they can achieve. Beyond that, I kind of think they're limited. But
okay, yeah, I go Vikings as the best bet, but the Packers aren't far behind them in my book.
Yeah.
I'm not touching the Lions at plus 130 though, and certainly not the Bears.
Or the Bears.
They should be plus 800.
Yes, or at least plus 550.
Yeah, the same as the Packers is insane to me. I wonder if there's a bet out there. So Packers win more games than the Bears.
You know how on draft props they'll do who's more likely to be drafted first. If I was to give you a who's more likely to win their division, the Steelers or the Bears, who would you pick?
Steelers.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And yet Steelers plus 550 like the Broncos.
Yeah.
Bears plus 380.
Yeah.
Broncos or Bears?
Broncos.
I kind of feel
think
the
it's
same.
Broncos, which is crazy because I don't think they're going to win.
Anything under 550 for the Bears is terrible value.
Yes.
NFC South might be the funnest division to do this exercise.
I agree. I had a lot of fun watching those games. So I was big on the Falcons last year.
Yeah.
And so I was
Smith.
I was watching just about every game, and they were a fun team.
They're fun.
Saints at plus 120 are the favorite.
Ritter is legit trash.
Falcons at plus 220. Panthers at plus 400. Bucks at plus 700. I could be convinced to take any of these. Probably not the Saints.
Probably not the Saints because I don't love that value.
Yeah.
I think Derek Carr is being quite overrated.
Yep.
Michael Thomas coming back. I mean, that defense is led by Cam Jordan, who, like, we do not talk about enough. What a phenomenal player he is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, you know, those games in college, Edward 40 hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm double fisting Edward 40 hands style, the Frank Reich, Bryce Young hype, guzzling it with two hands.
Wow.
Yeah, loved just grinning ear to ear as I'm doing those hand gestures. Bryce Young, Frank Reich.
You like it.
Plus 400. I wish the juice was juicier.
I wish so too, but I don't know. I wish it was juicier. If it was any juicier, I'd probably take it.
I mean, one way or another, you're selling yourself on like a hipster team.
Definitely. I mean, they all are that. Or Baker with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm more of a Kyle Trask guy myself, but yeah, Baker or Trask with the Bucks. That defense is aces. That's the thing.
Exactly.
If Vita Vea's healthy, like, you know, Winfield's healthy, the linebackers are healthy, Shaq Barrett can have some, like, a run of good health, and all these rookies, all these guys they've drafted high in the last 2 years can stay healthy and add to that depth. That Bucks defense, top 5, could be a top 5 unit in the league easy.
Definitely.
And you still have some good veteran wide receivers, right?
Yep.
Like, it's not
Mike
that
Evans
long
is insane.
ago.
Yes.
Their play caller was being seen as one of the up-and-comers. There is a path for the Bucks. There is a path for the Bucks.
I think if I was to take one of these, that'd be the one I take. At plus 700, like, that value is just crazy. In this division where you just got to win 9 games, Baker Mayfield can go win you 9 games. With that defense?
You might not even have to win 9, homie.
Exactly.
7 or 8
I
might
think
do
that's
it in
the
this
bet.
division.
Yeah, exactly, because you're playing each team twice. That already gives, if you
Yes.
can win at least half of them, that already
I
gives you 3.
worry about the health, and I worry about those quarterbacks. That's
Yeah.
where Baker's
Baker's solid, though. He's not somebody you want to build
at
around.
making garbage commercials and being overrated. He's even more than solid.
How much better is Derek Carr than Baker Mayfield?
At doing disgusting gestures to young Kansas fans, he's elite. In
That's
fact.
true.
But
That
the
is
thing
true.
is,
never forgive
Baker, to me,
for
it's
that.
kind of like Kirk Cousins. You put him in the right system, and he might just do something.
He might just be.
How much better is Derek Carr than Baker Mayfield?
On a worse team, have you?
I think there's like a 10 spot difference in the 32 ranked quarterbacks.
Okay.
And I think that tier difference is like
Okay.
the difference between being able to compete every game and kind of being behind the 8 ball against the majority of quarterbacks you line up against.
All
right.
Which team do you like better, though? The Saints, how are they constructed, or the Bucks?
I mean, that Saints defense is not terrible. And that receiving core, if you get Michael Thomas back, is
Yeah.
not that like the strength. What's selling you on the Bucks? The Saints are not that much inferior, and yet the Saints do have the better quarterback.
Probably the better quarterback.
Carr's made of glass, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm anti-Carr.
Look, there's a
I'm
lot
not
of
pro
great
Baker, but
value
he's
here.
solid.
This is what's gonna screw your division winners parlay,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be fun to pick the hipster team and have them break your heart by week 3.
I think it's funner just to go for the Panthers and just go for something fun.
Yeah, I do love me some
All those teams are
Brycey.
fun though.
They are all low.
They're-
That's crazy.
It's like, huh? There's just like a huge
That's crazy.
yeah, because like
Yeah, why
also
not,
like
like, Jair
sauce.
Alexander?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's, yeah,
But fair enough.
that whenever I think of the Falcons, that's gonna come to mind. And then our last division, the NFC West.
2-horse race.
49ers minus 175, Seahawks plus 220, Rams plus 900, Cardinals plus 2500. How crazy it would be just to sprinkle that Cardinals line, like because Kyler's back like running
crazy.
and stuff. Like if Kyler's, I don't think Kyler's back week 1, but if he's back week 3, could the 49ers fall off so much that 9-10 wins is enough?
That's not a terrible angle. As much as we're talking about the Cards just like tanking for Caleb Williams, I do feel like this year 1 head coach doesn't have the luxury to just tank this season.
Yeah.
Or he's probably getting canned a la Texans head coach.
I mean,
The last 2 years,
Yeah. Firing a coach after 1 year is rare. It's becoming much less rare. It's like, what, three times in the last 3 years? Something like that, but only 18 times ever. So, like, you wouldn't think that would be the case, especially when ownership has to understand why they're going to be so bad.
I'm just saying,
and
there
he's a
are
young coach.
parts of that franchise that are more motivated to win now than maybe
Yep.
meets the eye.
You're not crazy.
Also, top candidate to be Kyler's team in 24-25.
Wow. Bucks? Falcons?
Dang. In an
Broncos?
Artie Smith offense with Bijan?
Maybe.
Would Sean Payton, he's done it with Drew Brees, right?
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Okay.
Cardinals defense is just too bad to consider it.
No, they stink,
Those
man.
receivers are kind of tempting if you
It's
get Kyler
Seahawks
back.
and Niners. Niners the biggest fave of anyone, right?
And I'm not even
-175?
tempted by the Seahawks. Yeah. I think it's just 49ers.
Okay.
What's worst case scenario? Their quarterback sucks. Well, guess what? They're fine. They've done that before.
I know. I was trying to find a chink in the armor from last year, and it was like, geez, they just blew teams out with Brock Purdy. Blew them out,
Yep.
my guy. Okay. Good one.
Yep.
Dude, what a fun seg.
What a fun seg. Jair Alexander and Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey has lost several steps.
Yeah, I just can't believe that.
Also a bit of a jerk face,
Also, wait, let me double check these Madden ratings before I say something crazy.
Oh, hell
First of
yeah.
all,
Say
Dulcich
it.
74 compared to Fant 78. So there's a wide gap there. Wide gap.
The Dynasty community disagrees with you, Madden. Get with it, man. Get
Yeah.
with it.
So Sertan 94, Simmons 92.
Ugh.
I thought they were both 93 off the top of my head, and that was going to be an
Would
issue.
you be tempted to sue Madden for this egregious ranking?
For the most part, I've agreed with all of their rankings up to
but
this point.
No, this Dulcich Fant one is.
The Dulcich one and then the Sertan one coming at about the same time.
That's a
those two make me
non-ball
mad.
knower TM ranking right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like, Dulcich shouldn't be ranked the same as Marvin Mims. Dulcich is more proven. Also, Caden Stearns at 73 is pretty crazy also.
High?
Low. I mean, he's behind Dulcich and Mims. And he's like starting safety. I don't know. If he's 73, so Kareem's 78. Those two guys should be about the same.
Should they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they should
It's
be.
an interesting take.
Everything else, though, I know some people were upset that the offensive line was rated low. It's like McGlinchey's an 80, Bowles is 81,
Yeah.
Powers an 81. But like McGlinchey was a 79 in the last game. Powers got bumped up
That's
significantly
crazy.
to 81.
Huh.
I mean, he can't pass block.
He's that anchor in pass pro has struggled. But the year prior, I thought he had that down a little more.
I'm trying to remember. That would have been the injury year. So he played like half the season, then just like ripped
Gotcha,
his
so
leg
it'd
in
be-
half. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's when he put on all the weight, and then his leg said, nope,
Right.
you don't weigh that much.
Right. Right.
So yeah, a couple tough ratings.
You're not that heavy, bruv.
Zach Allen at 79 and Draymond Jones at 77. That one was interesting to me.
79 v 77.
Yeah.
Those guys are both underrated by like 5 points.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I think DJ Jones is 78.
I don't know why DJ's so underrated.
Yeah, I put him up a little bit higher.
That's one I take offense to, but you're the one who was asking me about his pass
Yeah.
rush grade, so maybe that's what's getting him. Stupid R lads keeps putting him at nose tackle. Non-ball knowers TM again.
Yep.
Strikes again.
Non-ball knowers. You know who does know ball?
They know ball so hard over there.
Kyle Backus.
Yes,
He really knows
does.
ball. He knows Florida ball in particular.
You've met him.
Yeah.
You've talked ball with Kyle Backus?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Holy
Big Florida fan.
cow.
Yeah, big Florida fan, big Bronco fan. He also
Dang.
he has another NFL team that he grew up
It's
with.
probably another orange and like
Probably.
He sounds like it's orange and blue.
Yes.
I bet he's rooting for the Netherlands in this World Cup. He probably loves that Pins and Aces hat we should have on.
You
set
should give
right
it to
now.
him.
I should.
Then you can talk ball to him when you give it to him.
Oh my gosh, I would love nothing more than to talk ball with Kyle Backus.
Well, there you go.
He would love nothing more than to protect you, Colorado citizen, and defend your rights if you were in a crash of any kind.
Any kind. Backus and Shanker, you can call him at 222-2222 to talk ball or to set up a consultation.
Let's talk ball.
Consultations are free. The whole process is
Oh
free
my
until they
gosh.
win your case. They've been helping Coloradans who are seriously injured for more than 25 years. They've won over $1 billion to their clients. They've got more than 30 lawyers on staff. They have offices all over the state, and they'll help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault: car accidents, motorcycle accidents, ride shares, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help if you're injured at work. So call them at 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Shanker wins. And also Shady
Boom.
Rays.
Oh yes.
You want to know something?
Always.
Everybody keeps talking about how hot it is in Arizona and how hot it is in Vegas. I don't care. I don't care what your weather is. Like, I just am not interested at all. It's like, whoa, it's never been 110 degrees this many days in a row in Vegas before. It's like, I'm not there. I'm just uninterested.
Right. Like,
But-
for all we care, you can roast in the desert.
Exactly.
For evs. We
Exactly.
Don't care.
It's like, oh, there's a blizzard on the East Coast. Like, okay, sucks for them. I'm here.
We don't care.
We don't
That's
care.
The thing, yeah.
But if you're somebody who does want to wear sunglasses in, what do you call that? In support of the people who are in those very hot places right now,
Right.
go to Shady Rays because they'll give you some
I mean,
sunglasses.
the sun's out here too, even if it's not 114.
Yeah.
That sun shines bright. Wasn't the sun shining bright on you in Montana?
I mean, it doesn't get that hot up there.
Wow. But the
Yeah.
sun is not out?
It gets hotter now. When I was
Sun's out,
young, it
guns
was
out?
like rarely 80 degrees when I was little. And now it's like it'll get up to into the 90s.
It's a weather trend heavy Shady Rays read. I didn't have that on my bingo
That is true.
card.
You go get your Shady Rays because it turns out right now more than ever you should get
They're
sunglasses.
so good, man. They're awesome.
They are. I wonder if it's because all the glaciers are melting. There's no way those. No, that's not
Probs,
it.
but
That's
I
not
have
it.
a solution you can hear on the other side of this Shady Rays.
Oh, good.
Read. Yeah.
If you use the code DNVR, you can get
Yes.
50% off
Yes.
your sunglasses. So go to
Do it.
shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR. You'll get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. So definitely go check those out because over 250,000 people have rated them 5 stars.
250,000, and that's just the beginning. If I prop the hat up like this, it almost looks like a Mario hat.
It does.
Like Mario's hat,
It does look just like that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Here's a question. Who is faster? Greg Dulcich,
Yes.
Trey
Yes.
McBride.
Pure 40 speed?
Just highest speed rating.
Well, Trey McBride is faster because they
Oh,
run
really?
40s.
Okay.
And he ran a
I thought that was
faster
kind of
40.
crazy. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Take that for data.
Take
Or
that.
data. as
Take that
the
for data.
Then Grizz coach once said.
All right.
All right.
Let's see. We're just gonna have to jump into the Super Bowl conference stuff. Actually, real quick, let's
Jump
take
on
a
in.
quick look at the to make the playoffs bet. See if there's anything that jumps out. Then we'll hit the conference winners.
Heck yes.
Let's see. Falcons plus 120. I'm only looking at the plus money. That's all it's interesting.
Yeah, it just
Panthers
banged
at plus
on you.
180. Bears to not make the playoffs at minus 210 is tempting.
Sign me up.
Yep, that's all. Throw it in your parlay and let it cook. Browns plus 100 is almost
No.
tempting. That's just a tough division. Broncos plus 195. We talked about that yesterday. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
No, I
'Cause-
think that's solid value.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the AFC wildcard picture going to be like? It's a lot of teams from the north.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Chargers.
Yep. Probably not the Raiders. Probably not anybody from the AFC South.
And then the Jets. It
And-
starts to be
and the
the
Dolphins.
AFC East teams, the Jets
Yep.
and Dolphins.
Yep.
So for example, the
Yeah.
Dolphins minus 110. Chargers are minus 105.
That's a good bet.
I don't believe in the Chargers at all.
Just to make the playoff. I don't believe in the Chargers either, but they're going to go win 9 or 10 games.
Are they?
Yeah.
The skill players are either in contract disputes or cannot stay healthy.
They're also like
They've yet to
pretty
figure the
freaking good.
O-line out.
Yeah. I mean, but
And
they
the
also they
defense
didn't have
has made
Slater
playoffs.
last year. Slater's going to be one of the best tackles in the NFL.
He doesn't get hurt again.
True. Could get hurt again.
Could get hurt again. That's kind of his track record as of now.
Yeah. I mean, Chargers at minus 105. I'm tempted.
I think that's good value.
I do.
Guess I'm just a hater, but Herbert is good. I got to give him. Herbert is, in fact, good. Ravens. I wanted to see the Ravens. Minus 160.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably your first wild card spot, right?
Yep.
And then it's Broncos competing with
Dolphins,
Steelers.
Jets, Chargers,
Yeah.
Steelers.
Yep. Jets at minus 150. Too high.
Yep.
Give me the Jets plus 120 to not make the playoffs.
I like that. I like that too. Oh, can you parlay? I'm not sure if you can parlay these because they
There
are
no
very
odds
related.
on Carr to win a playoff game, sadly.
Was it to make the playoffs?
To make the playoffs for the
minus
Saints.
180.
Yeah.
I'd take the no at plus 150.
Yes, love that.
Yeah.
Love that. There you go. Now we're talking, man.
Vikings to make the playoffs at plus 105. That feels like
Whoa,
it should
really?
be plus money. Yeah.
In the NFC?
In the NFC.
Oh, sign me up. Love that value.
Yep. That's a good one.
Awesome. Well done, Hank.
Okay. I think
This is
we
some of
saw
the best driving you've done on a Broncos pod
Wow.
I've been on ever.
Well, that makes
It's like a
Four of them.
5-pod sample size, but
which are all the pods I've ever driven on.
look at you.
Look at me. Patriots plus 240 to make the playoffs. That's almost enough value that I could get in.
Come on, Hank.
They've just had such slow starts the last 2 years. Otherwise, they would have been in. They start like 0-4 or something.
Are they getting zapped up this season?
I doubt it. But I mean, if
They
we're
do
talking
have
about the
a
Broncos getting in, I don't think the
offensive
Patriots
coordinator rather than
that could go a long way.
just the bad guy from Pinocchio. So they've got that going for them.
That's true.
I can't believe you got that reference.
Texans at plus 550. That's almost tempting also. Like Stroud gets down there.
What?
Like at plus 550, it's almost
Why
tempting.
didn't we talk about them in the AFC South?
I
Is
think
it that their path more so
Probably.
than like it's like, oh, the AFC South was won by a 7-win Texans
probably.
team. CJ
That's just
Stroud
such a
had
big
high
number.
Hot start, and then the league kind of figured them out, and they like
Cardinals at plus 1225. Like if Kyler comes back, like
the NFC, like that second
Exactly.
wild card is really garbage.
yes, they will
It's
have
totally
bad teams.
possible.
Like who can be the Giants this year? The Giants, I had them like under 5.5 wins or something last year.
Yeah, right. Cowboys minus 210. They're overrated by the public, sadly. I mean, you
Then
were
bet
selling
on
me
the
on the
miss.
Colts plus 360.
Yeah, that's in my bet slip.
They just have to win the division.
Probably.
The AFC is too competitive. Those two wild card spots are too competitive.
Winning conference in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
AFC minus 130.
Hammer away.
Yeah. Like that might be worth just doing. I usually don't like those, but this year it feels like you just
The
do
NFC
it.
has one Super Bowl contender, and you don't even believe in the Eagles.
Yeah, I was struggling to come up with who it was.
Right? Yeah,
I was thinking
you
like
were-
the Niners.
You were like 0 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right, but the Niners, you're saying Sam Darnold, Trey Lance, or Brock Purdy are leading me to a Super Bowl dub. That is what
That's
that
crazy.
bet is saying when
That
you
is
take
crazy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So winning conference, just take the
AFC
AFC
all the way. Yeah.
To win the AFC, Chiefs at plus
Yes.
350, Bills at plus 475, Bengals at plus 500, Jets plus 750.
Okay.
It's just the Chiefs to me.
No.
Yeah, they're the best team. I hate it, but if I'm betting on one, I'm not betting against the Chiefs.
Burrowhead, man. They played them real tough last year.
Who won?
They beat them twice, and then I mean, the refs rigged the game.
Okay, but
right? Wasn't that one of Mahomes' worst performances too, Henry?
Yeah, that's the ankle, right? Well, and then if the refs rigged that game, why won't they just rig it again this year?
They get after Mahomes. That's the thing.
Yeah, they do.
Have you ever seen a team beat up on Mahomes more than the Bengals front has been able to do consistently the last 2 years?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Give me the Bengals plus 500.
All right. I got Chiefs plus 350.
Go Tigers.
NFC Championship. Eagles plus 300. 49ers plus 350. Cowboys plus 600. Lions plus 900.
Dude.
Saints plus 1400. That's in fifth. The Seahawks are sixth. Wow. Give me the Vikings at plus 1600.
Give me the Vikings at plus 1600 and the Eagles at plus 300 is legit good value.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, Super Bowl losers coming back. They're always bad. But I don't know. I think they caught some magic last year, and I'm not sure how much of the magic is back.
The magic was they sacked opposing quarterbacks 60 times.
Yeah, that was the magic.
And then had an O-line combined with the best running quarterback who like gamed the system and had an automatic way of converting 3rd and 4th and short.
Yep. But
and AJ Brown, Devontae Smith on the outside
definitely
is huge, man.
Especially AJ Brown. He's really huge.
He's good. Very good football player, that AJ Brown.
Super Bowl. Chiefs plus 600, Eagles plus 800, Bills plus 850, Niners plus 900, Bengals plus 1,000, Jets plus 1,400. Our Vikings plus 4,000.
On the Chiefs, when's the last time we had a back-to-back Super Bowl winner? Must be the Pats.
Yeah.
But it's been a while.
Yeah, because they won 3 of 4 early on. But
Guy knows ball.
But that was probably the last one.
That was the early 2000s you're talking about.
Yeah. I'd still just go Chiefs. They're the best team. They're magic. They just... I wish it weren't true, but I just can't bet on any other team.
I think you're too much of a slave of the moment and what happened
It's not a moment, though. They've beaten the Broncos 15 times in a row.
Sure, that's the Broncos.
I know, but then what's their playoff? So I watch all the games against the Broncos. I watch all the playoff games.
Yeah.
And then I'll catch the primetime games.
Yeah.
Which means the Chiefs, when I've seen them in the last 5-6
win a
years,
lot.
they're
They win a lot.
25-3 when I watch.
No, I'm not saying they're bad, but there's a very clear 3-team hierarchy. Mm-hmm. And I think the Bengals have proven they can do it.
Okay.
The Bills also had them dead to rights.
Yep.
And, I mean, they pulled a rabbit out their ass. And
again.
Yeah. Which, that's what happens when you have very, very, very good quarterback play.
The Vikings having the same odds as the Raiders is pretty crazy to me.
To win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
What are the Bengals on that? I'm struggling.
They're plus 1,000.
Plus 1,000? Give
Yep.
me the Bengals all day.
Okay.
They really shouldn't be plus 500 to win the AFC and plus 1,000 to win it all.
Yeah. That's true.
If anything, the juice on the AFC should be longer and shorter on the Super, right?
Definitely. Yeah, you're totally right.
Give me Bengals plus 700 to win the AFC, plus 800 to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, we're nitpicking, but when you know ball, I guess.
So true. Do you need any massive neon lights, Dre?
Man, funny you ask.
Yeah.
I was thinking of replacing all the lights in my home with neons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, then Saturday Neon is the place for you.
I bet it is.
What you could do is just make it all college sports teams themed, your
That'd be
entire house.
so cool.
Instead of having lights, you just put there's Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Utah.
Right.
And then you just walk all the way through. Oh, can you go get my water? It's underneath the pit light.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's
I
one
love
option that I think you should keep in mind. They actually have multiple different Florida State signs, which makes sense because they're really cool. So if anybody, I guess you wouldn't even have to be a Florida State fan, really. If you're just a fan of arrows, arrowheads,
the Seminoles tribe, of course.
or just the tribe,
Yeah.
the Seminoles.
Yeah.
Wow. Same thing, if you're just a really big fan of Spartans in general,
Totes.
the Michigan State
Totes.
Spartan, or
Right.
Ducks. I guess
Yup.
his hat does say Oregon, so you'd have to be a fan of Ducks specifically in Oregon.
Right. Totally.
But there's all sorts of awesome stuff from Saturday Neon. It's not even just college signs either.
Right. Good on you.
There's a bunch of like wedding signs. You can get custom signs. Like, no, where'd our sign go?
A custom just married sign?
Actually, I think Zach
Yeah.
got a custom sign right from Saturday Neon.
I
for
think
his
he
wedding.
did.
That's what he told us.
Yeah, I didn't see it, which is tough to believe.
Oh.
But I don't remember.
Wait, maybe this is ringing a bell.
It is ringing a bell for sure.
I think there was a neon sign. I thought nothing of it. I didn't think that was the good homies from Saturday Neon
Yeah.
who hooked our boy up in the greatest day of his life.
Some of the wedding signs aren't even just wedding exclusive.
Dang.
Like this one just says, "Let's get this party started." It's $100 off right now. You could put that anywhere.
Oh my God. That was a lot. That was like the theme of people ending their speeches was let's get this party started.
It
Wasn't it
wasn't
at
it?
that wedding? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's Amore. You
That's
could just love
yes,
Italy.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, or like Pizza, the song. This one says best day
Totally.
ever.
Facts.
So there's a bunch of different options. So go over to Saturday
Dang.
Neon, use the code DNVR, you'll get 10% off your order, and you'll get free shipping on orders over $200 at SaturdayNeon.com. Time to get into the comments. Do we have any super chats?
It's time.
No super chats.
Arvada Luke in the count just questioning us up.
Ooh. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Wait.
Oh, so do we read the one that was posted first? Yes.
Yes. Top down.
Arvada Luke. Hello, friends. Watching quarterback, or I guess more accurately, binging,
Ooh.
has done two things. Made me crave football season like a raccoon craves trash, and made it absolutely imperative that this year we beat the Chiefs. I've been with my now wife for just over 8 years. Congrats. I also just did an 8-year anniversary. Awesome. While she is one of the good guys, her family obviously are diehard Chiefs fans, as I'm sure Hank can relate. Kidding in parentheses.
I'm not a Chiefs fan.
I
just
think
fear
in
them.
our entire relationship, the Broncos have won a single matchup. I have had, right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
8 years. Yeah, that checks out. I have had the fortune or misfortune of going to a lot of those matchups. I've easily lost over 100 beers worth
Oh, no.
of beer bets to my brother-in-law. The Chiefs' glow up over the last few years has got to stop. I've reached wit's end, which brings me to my question. Which Broncos player is the key to blowing up the Chiefs' Death Star this year for the 2, maybe 3 games we see them? Cheers, Arvada Luke.
Who is the key? That's a good question. Like you could give, I could almost say like Nick Bonito. Like Nick Bonito just needs to be insane, and he's just like a crazy, speedy pass rusher off the edge. Drew Sanders, maybe that's the answer because he's going to play that spy role. He'll come up and come after Patrick
Could it
Mahomes.
be Frank Clark?
Could be Frank Clark.
Jalen
I mean, we just
McMillan?
talked about the Bengals are able to get after him with 4 rushers.
Yeah.
If
That's the
Gregory
key.
and Clark are healthy and they just keep that pressure coming with DJ and Zach Allen in the middle, now we're cooking with gas, right?
Yeah, I just don't know that. Frank Clark puts up 7 sacks a season. I can't trust him to be like, oh, look, he just took over this
I
game.
guess you've never seen his playoff.
No, in the playoffs, he's
production,
better.
maybe.
And
Maybe
when
you've
they get
missed
to the
that. I don't
playoffs,
know.
yes, but in the regular season, he's just,
Well,
it hasn't been enough to expect it.
do we flip it on Arvada, Luke? I know he asked Broncos player, is the key really a Chiefs player? And it's, as we were talking about, Travis Kelce.
That could be. He just gets old. Or is it offense? Defense is going to be good.
Also, you went defensive trenches. What if the answer was McGlinch?
Yeah.
Offensive trenches. Tone setter. Impose
Yeah.
your will. Run the ball. Control the clock. All
Or even
that good
Javonte.
stuff.
He has a couple of runs against the Chiefs where he just breaks a bunch of tackles
Damn
because they
Strizzy.
don't have a defense.
Also, like Arvada Luke, they've been really bad, but then there are those games where they've played the Chiefs tight.
Oh, yeah.
It's changing. It's coming, guys. It's coming. When you least expect it, it comes. I bet Arvada Luke, before you married your wife 8 years ago, there were times where you're like, man, maybe this is never going to happen. And then boom, next thing you know, right? Married happily 8 years.
It's Javonte. That's the answer.
Boom.
Just Javonte goes for like 180 or something.
Boom. There you go.
If you've got time for another stunner diehard question, you can marry one, have a respectable one-night stand with one, and never speak to them again, and you block one on all forms of social media. Broncos go 9-8 with top 5 offense and bottom 5 defense, middle of the league offense and defense, bottom 5 offense and top 5 defense. In terms of what would make you most excited for the future, give me the top 5 defense. Because if the defense falls off, I'm not sure you're getting it back. Sean Payton will find a way to make this offense work. It means you're probably moving on from Russ and changing things, but there's a path to redeem it. If this defense isn't any good, you're tearing the whole thing down, and I'm not sure what you do with it.
Solid take, man. That's a solid take.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good read. Good read. I agree.
And then the count. Will the league ever create a developmental league? How could they do it? Should they? Your thoughts. Love the count. I think it'd be awesome.
It's kind of happening.
It's not really their developmental league, though.
No, but we're starting to set the groundwork.
Yeah.
The AAF was that a little more.
I don't know. Because those are just guys who don't have jobs, though.
It needs to be... The restrictions on the play calling really hurt that.
Huh.
Because bad quarterback play and bad O-line play, you have to make up those margins somewhere. And that should be in play calling. But then you were limited in what you could do there. But yeah, you need it. You need it desperately. It's never going to be... Like, the problem with that is it'll never be as good a product as college football. College football will always remain the second best American football league in the world. So this will always be like, I don't know, closer to Canadian football or USFL as like the third.
I don't know what people watch. But nobody watches the G League. And that's nobody watches AAA baseball.
That's not the point of a developmental league.
Exactly.
It's to develop the talent.
And that's why they shouldn't have gotten rid of NFL Europe. Because that was exactly what it was.
Yep.
Like, that's where, if you could just send, who's it going to be this year? Say Jaleel McLaughlin doesn't make the team. Let him go get some touches in Frankfurt or whatever.
Yeah.
Or send, Will Sherman, who, 23-year-old guard out of CU.
Yeah.
He was drafted a couple years ago, and the book was, it's going to take a couple years for him to put the strength on, and then he'll be good to go.
Right.
It's like, now it's time to see if the strength came and whether he's good. But it would have been nice if you could have let him go play in Europe for those 2 years while you waited.
Yeah, you need that for all these developmental projects. You really need that.
And maybe you even keep your own practice squad. Maybe it's like a 10-man practice squad, and then you get another 20 spots for guys who you send over. You take 6 guys off the practice squad.
They're already thinking of expansion and more international games. You kind of need to bring back.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it lost money and there were other problems, but of course it's going to lose money. You're not making money with a football league that's not the NFL.
So yes, they should. There are routes to do it. How could they do it? That's where you need to figure out revenue splits. That's where you need to figure out ways to try and get as many practice squads guys as possible playing in live games and not just sitting on a practice squad. And the NFL does need to be involved. It should be more like the G League. I think that's the path to doing this.
I don't expect it to happen, though.
I kind of don't either.
Yeah.
That league is like, if we're not making millions hand over fist, don't even bother me.
Who cares if Will Sherman's better? That's probably what Roger Goodell's thinking.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, like revenue's up. Will Sherman being developed or not?
Exactly.
They don't give on a damn. They don't give a damn.
Even like Jalen Virgil, you get to send him over there to play. Brandon Johnson, whoever doesn't make the team. It'd be so fun, but it won't happen.
My biggest problem with watching those leagues is if I watch those leagues, those rosters are littered with guys I was wrong about and too high on. And it's just like, I can't watch.
That's true.
Be reminded of my own personal failures and incorrect takes for 4 quarters.
Yeah. No, that does make sense.
Like, I've been married 8 years. If I need to be reminded of all the things I'm wrong about, I just have a convo with my wife, right?
There you go. Oh.
Shouts to you, sweetie. I'm joking.
All right.
We kid. Yeah.
What does that say about me and the Chiefs? I can't read all those little words.
Hank probably has a Chiefs blanket.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a Chiefs blanket. I hate the Chiefs.
He has 2 of them, guys. Let him be.
No, I don't have 2 of them. I fear the Chiefs.
That's so stupid.
Is it stupid?
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Ugh.
You always say that like that's just. It's so stupid.
It's
You
not
don't
stupid.
fear other men.
yeah,
I
Hank,
fear the Chiefs.
have some goddamn respect.
They've won 1 game against the Chiefs since I graduated high school.
Yeah, we all have ebbs and flows, okay?
A lot of ebbs or whatever's bad in this one.
Right, but we all forget about the flowy times, huh?
Yeah, I do forget about them.
3 decades of dominance.
But even then, I think back to like
What?
Jamal Charles and Priest Holmes and Dante Hall returning punts, and I don't know.
We got this man over here thinking about
I'm sorry, you
Dante
just
Hall.
listed a
What?
bunch of losers. What about those losers?
I used to fear them, not to the extent.
Having to send their best players to us so they could finally win something like Neil Smith? Is that what you fear?
I wasn't alive for that.
I'm scared of the Chiefs. I'm Henry. Oh.
Yeah, I am scared of the Chiefs. That's exactly it.
Turn that into Mickey Mouse.
It's okay, guys. The turnaround's coming soon. The best things happen when you least expect it. And that's this Broncos turnaround. I promise.
So you don't expect a turnaround? You are promising one.
I kind of don't. Much like you, who fear the Chiefs, don't expect it. And yet it's happening.
Wow.
Yaya does expect it, so.
I just
So it
wanted
can't
it-
happen.
I
What does
know.
he least expect?
I
I don't
just
know, man.
wanted it to happen so Hank can be sad because the Chiefs lost against the
That will
Broncos.
make me
Yeah.
very happy.
That's all I
Yeah.
want.
But until something changes, Chiefs just win, and it makes me
They
sad.
do.
But they go
They
and they
have
win.
a really good quarterback. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Well, that's a sad note to end this on, but it's time to go. I'll be gone tomorrow, but Dre will be here.
We
Dre
might
will
be
be
talking
here.
about that quarterback series.
Yeah.
The chat and the comments are buzzing about.
Oh.
Watch those first 2 sods. Let's have some fun.
With Murchel. So if you're trying to get
Who's to say?
some t-shirts sold to you, tomorrow's the day to watch this podcast.
Tomorrow's the day.
And Zach will be back Monday, and I'll be back Thursday. And Ryan
Dude, amazing.
still exists? Probably.
Yeah, man. I've been told he's like breathing.
Okay.
So that's a big update.
There's your Ryan update.
Yeah.
That'll do it for today.
Have
See
a
you
great
guys
one, guys.
later.